MC Studios. This is Old School. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Old School on a Tuesday. It's cold. Very cold.
It's brisk, baby.
It's very
This isn't
cold.
Minnesota cold, but this is surprising cold because you had the nice Sunday. You know, that's what Nebraska does. It like when you get around this time, it's like builds you all the way up to like great weather, like San Diego, the Midwest, no light wind. It's always windy in Nebraska, but when it's light, it's like, oh, this is what it's like in San Diego, right? But we're in the middle of we're in God's country. Then it says, let me just bring you back down to reality. And they just don't, Nebraska's weather at this point in time in the year isn't nice about it. No. It's like it's always extreme, right? So Nebraska doesn't go from like summer to like a little bit of fall. It switches. It goes from like 75 and sunny or 80 on Monday, 65 and sunny, and then by the time Friday goes, I was okay. Well, you got 5 inches of snow.
Yeah, we're not sure what this is supposed to be.
This is the reality. This is what this is right here. Instead of scratching your back, like that's what this weekend was.
Yeah.
This is like, okay, you know what? DP, I told you to take out the garbage.
That's what your grandma used it for.
Yeah,
that's the Jawan Howard hand across a sea of people.
This is the Jay Foreman reaching, slapping, sip, and Jake. And it has, if you can see it here, it's got one of Jake's little facial hairs because he actually, there's a little Jake. Yeah, where were they scratching? Ooh. They were probably scratching their head. Okay. Well, anyways, yeah, that's what Nebraska weather is.
Yeah, let's sanitize that.
I ain't using that.
Let's spray that down.
Let's never use another man's back scratcher.
Right. Bucket of alcohol in there.
Yeah, there's a.
Or you just burn it.
Yeah, right.
You guys were both invited, personally invited by Paul Klempa of the bowling team to the Big Red Invitational this weekend at Hollywood Bowl. They've only got X number of reserved seats, but he wanted to invite you guys if you want to come down. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. TV Big Ten Network's broadcasting Sunday.
Right.
But if you guys want to show up at any point, they would love to have you. He said, be sure to come by and see him. So,
Rico, you going to be there? I love bowling. I do. At every family reunion, that's our big deal. And we had, like in my mom's side of the family and on my dad's side of the family, which, primarily out east in DC, we love the bowl. But my mom's side of the family, we take it serious.
Oh, and it's bowling in spades in my family.
Yeah, I love bowling. I've never watched bowling.
I'll watch it.
You watch people. Yeah. You watch people when you're bowling, but I've never sat down and watched professional.
I'm amazed at bowling and how much it's grown. Obviously Weber is the guy because he's very he has a charisma, but. It's when it showed up on ESPN at that odd time when it's slow and they have tons of sponsorships that let you know 1 year on ESPN is the real deal. But our family reunion. So on my mom's side of the family, we have family in Florida, in Chicago. Then my mom and some of us are kind of migrated from, Midwest and kind of Southwest Arizona and Las Vegas. And then we got some down in Dallas. So what we do is the Florida and Chicago act like they're just they can't commingle with everybody as far as when they drafting people, right? So then they had more. They were overcoming and winning by numbers, right? So it was just me, my brother, mom, and my stepdad Cliff or whatever. I just call him Cliff. So it was us four, but they would have 8, right? So they would just overwhelm you. So now we teamed up with the Dallas crew. Now it's 3 separate teams, and I'm telling you, Bill Heron is my Uncle Bill. He called himself Big Daddy Bill, and she's from Chicago. And when it comes time to family reunion time, and bowling is up, you don't get the family chain text anymore. It's kind of all right. I'm locking in,
splitting the groups.
Yeah, hey, you're the enemy now, so it's kind of fun.
We had so for us, we had the Baltimore.
Yep.
Folks.
Yeah.
We have the Southern Virginia folks.
which
You know,
is extremely
Right.
different for you people out there. That's
right?
totally, yeah.
The country folks,
Right.
the real farm
Right,
folks,
right.
right? And then the Northern Virginia folks who were kind of the
DC
meshing,
kinda, yeah.
the mesh between them all. And it was twofold because you'd have the bowling and then you'd have spades tournament.
And people play spades differently based on where you're from.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness gracious.
It's serious.
Look, there are family feuds over this.
Oh, in Frederick, Maryland, when we rented out the little park and we went and bought bushels of crabs and we were out there playing spades and my dad and those guys were playing dominoes. Oh, it straight up had to break up some fights, straight up.
Like it's don't sit down here if you don't mean this.
Oh, don't play spades if you ain't serious. This ain't playtime.
Right? I don't want to teach you.
Yeah, you better know. And if you say you got 3 books, you better have 3+ books. Don't come and say you got 3 or 4 books and you end up with 1. You might not, I was talking about the macaroni and cheese out of the lady.
Might not be invited to the next family gathering.
Oh yeah, and then they're gonna talk about you, especially if you leave. You know what I'm saying? Like if you leave. Because one time I messed up in spades when I was playing Buffalo, so I hadn't played in a while and kind of my game.
You were rusty.
I was definitely rusty, and definitely wasn't used to that intensive environment. To say that, right? And
as he says, as he's playing in the NFL.
No, but the first time, no,
it's different.
No.
The
first time you get called up to the grown-up table.
Oh yeah, see, I went from the minor leagues to the.
They called you up to the show right away.
Oh yeah,
you skipped AAA.
Yeah, I went from AA. I went from getting drafted, literally, right, to AA. Hit like a couple home runs on maybe a 46-year-old pitcher trying to get one more cup of tea up there at the majors, and then they put me up there not only in the major leagues. We were in the Game 7 of the playoffs, and
you were hitting cleanup.
Yeah, and I was playing with my uncle Hotsy, right? That's his nickname, and he is the dude when it comes to spades, right? And we always were tight, and just because he talked to me about sports and life or whatever. So I thought I was in there. So I was used to playing spades against the cats in Buffalo or cats we lived in the same apartment complex. We'd be snowed in on a day. Oh no. Oh. Hotsy was like, hey, I messed up. He's like, hey, he pulled me and said, look, boy, listen here. He's like, I don't care if you play at Buffalo. Don't ever sit down at the table with me right here and not meet the demands of your book.
Like you can go on over to that nonsense will play over there at the portable table with the folded chairs. But when you get to the dining room table where it's covered and cleared and you get grown-up chairs, you better have it together.
Because because he would come with a big gulp 7-Eleven cup.
Oh my goodness gracious.
With vodka and cranberry. Kind of like you could see it see through. But once it gets to halfway through, then that's when he gets better. You know what I mean? And then he talking way cash junk. That's where I got it from, right? And so I messed up that one. So the next year, I'm still coming. Hotsy calls me. I'll never forget. It's week 15 in Buffalo, like we're playing. He's like, "Hey, you coming down? In the spring?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be there." Right? He's like, "You gonna be ready?" I like, hey, trust me. When I tell you, I prepared for like a game. I prepared mentally and playing. Like I'd get play different scenarios. So when I came, I was Trump tight. It's for real, man.
No, my uncle, my come to Jesus moment was I thought I was being smart, right? And I thought, you can't talk to your partner during the game.
Yeah.
Like you're not allowed to talk,
yeah.
right? But I thought we were in
unison.
I thought we were together.
Right.
And I thought I was reading him that he was holding. So we were good, right? And he didn't have. And he, first of all, at the table, he just dropped the card and got up. And as he walked back to the table, he goes, you were adopted, right? I was like, what?
That's always a good one. That's always a good one to throw out.
What? What do you?
But you got to save that one for a.
Oh no,
moment.
he was there,
and that seems like the right moment.
No, and my grandmother. So this was always at my grandmother's house, and so my grandmother walked in, and she put a cupcake in front of me. It's okay, baby. You young. Like I was like, no,
nobody's gonna address what he just said.
What he's gonna say? What he just
Everybody
said.
just ignores it. I think that makes it worse.
Right? Like it's like, and then you start looking. I'm like,
damn.
What?
you start noticing small differences.
Right.
You're like, we don't have the same eyes.
Why are you messing with me? Like
we don't have the same hair. Oh my goodness.
You went deep. And then the thing was, so my brother, my uncle, they called him bruh. Like he was like they called him brother, but his nickname was bruh, and we all called him bruh. And my mom and my aunt Anna, and they would always play against them. And then whoever the oldest child there was got the fourth seed. And they would throw bombs at each other during the game. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna tell mom about the time you stole that person's mail.
Oh no.
Right? They're like, keep messing with me. I'm gonna tell all your secrets. And mom, you remember the time she said she was over at Tiffany's house? She was over there with them reds over there, like you told her not to be. And I'm like, we would hang out with the table, like the kids would hang around the table just to pick up notes. It's like, okay, so I can use that. That is a good. When mom tells me that I need to be where I'm supposed to be,
I got this in my
Hey,
back pocket.
mom, remember the time you were supposed to be at Tiffany's house and you were at the Reds? Got it. So it was, and in bowling, my uncle was amazing. I just remember him carrying like a 189 average most of his life, and then he would play in tournaments, and in the tournaments he would always bowl above 200.
Right.
And I wanted to bowl the way people on TV bowl. So I wanted to spin the ball.
You wanted to spin the ball, yeah.
I wanted to spin the ball, and he would go, okay, I know that you like watching bowling, but what you're doing is an abomination.
Right.
Like I need substance, not style. He goes, I would rather you throw it straight because that works for you. And I was like, yes, sir. Okay, I'll just throw it straight.
Yeah, I feel you on that, though.
I'll throw it straight. And what's happened with the bowling team
is pure domination.
Yeah, and I watched. So they had a 3-day trial. I literally watched them all weekend.
Yeah.
So they're on Facebook Live. So you have to follow Nebraska Bowling, but it's on Facebook Live. This is a marathon. Like it's match after match after match after match after back to back. And I was like, wow. And there was a 3-game series where literally all the women from Nebraska were over 200. Like they were just dominating this team. And there were 18 teams at the tournament, and they finished first, including McKendree State, who was the big rival and the number 1 team in the country. So watching, I was like, okay, why am I watching this? But I couldn't turn it off. And I was like, okay, y'all got me. Y'all got me. I'm watching this. So Big Ten event. Big Ten Invitational. It's this week in Hollywood Bowl. Doesn't cost you anything. I know Sunday, because the Big Ten Network is there, the first 75 people who walk through the doors get Valentino's pizza.
And a pop.
So they do.
They're going to be standing room only.
Like there's going to be a crowd out front.
Nebraska will show off for Valentino's and runs them.
Right. And TV. Like, you're going to, and there's not much, room. So
I've never been in Hollywood Bowl, but it doesn't look very large if you kind of just think about the lanes and the where you have to.
Well, the way they've got, I think they're using 4 lanes, and then there's like a bleacher. They put in bleachers. In lanes 5 and 6.
Interesting. And
you'll be able to sit there and do your thing and go through it. But yeah, it's that's where that's going to be. So you guys are both invited. They're holding space, and Paul Klempa is doing his thing. They had a good time last night, so that was fun. Lots to cover today. The lead story with Juwan Howard.
Yeah, 5 games.
What are your thoughts? What statement are they making?
The Big Ten?
Yeah,
or
don't
just
smack somebody.
Yeah, don't smack. Just tighten up. I mean, it's a lot of games considering, where Michigan is, where they're kind of, 50-50 on being able to, make the NCAA tournament or play consistently enough to be, because you want to play consistent down the stretch, and they're playing against teams that can really boost their stock to get in. And the fact that they've, they're sitting them down for the rest of the regular season is a big statement in itself that, it's not going to be tolerated. I imagine I doubt he'll have another dust up like that again. But if it does happen with him, obviously I think he'd be terminated. But if another coach has some sort of deal. I'm sure that's where they're going to start. So they're making a statement that, obviously Juwan was more wrong than the other coach and so forth and so on. And so, they made a statement. It was swift. So, I can appreciate that. And, I never crossed my mind that he should be fired. I don't really think it's a problem. I just think it's one of those deals that, he obviously lost his composure, obviously, it started from, them, Wisconsin calling the timeout, but, also Juwan was pressing. I think it was a little gamesmanship, from Wisconsin coach. Whereas, like, I know if you want to kind of help your team, but at the end of the day, you got equivalent of Jay Foreman in there. You're not watching that tape anyways. Let's be honest. Like when he's not watching that tape and grading those guys that are in there. So there's plenty of blame to go around, and it's going to be a talking point up until he comes back. But I don't think it's kind of like the Myles Garrett type of deal, right? First it's like shock value, and then it's talking about world's going to end, and should he ever play football again, and da 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 da. And once as we've seen in sports, in college sports, professional, even sometimes amateur, because you see a lot more of this in amateur. I think that just a couple of weeks ago you saw a coach choke a ref somewhere, like an AAU circuit somewhere. Like he went, so heck, I was just in Omaha, and a coach went after a ref, and the ref was like blowing the whistle, kind of like for help, and it was just like everybody was like, and that's go too far. So there's always going to be something, going on sports wise. What kind of went under the radar, which is in a different sport, but just as big, that the NFL and the NFL Combine, swiftly change, reverse pattern, and now the players can go outside of the bubble just like that within 24 hours, just on the maybe assumption or the possibility that 100 and I think they said 68 players and agents were going to, bypass the combine and go and do their personal workout. They changed their protocols per se. I mean, that's huge because one, it's potentially down the road, which I don't ever see it happening because the NFL has the worst union, has the ability to be the strongest union, but is the worst union. It's weird because MLB and hockey probably have the best in the NBA. All the other sports have stronger unions, right? As far as benefits and togetherness. But in the NFL, potentially, which again, I don't think will ever happen. It shows that, these guys coming into the draft have a little bit more continuity than the guys that are already playing. Whereas that they can band together now to get agents to get on the phone and agree to anything. Because they're all trying to posture to get their guy drafted, but they all said, look, this is all going to make us money. It's kind of like when all the mafia heads got together, we got to stop killing each other because we all, we got to make this money, right? Yeah. So they came together, and it was on the potential that, almost half the guys at the combine would be skipping their workouts, and I imagine it'd be a lot of high-profile players. It lets you know that actually if the NFL players got together and banded, you actually can move the ownership in the NFL rather quickly. Now, it's not on the same scale of if they wanted to get something really realistically done with like the concussion lawsuit or benefits, but it shows the potential. It does. It shows. And the thing that's sad about it, you got guys that aren't even in the union getting stuff done versus guys that are been union leaders or in the union
for players not in the union
to do something
rather than the players who already exist who pay fees
pay fees every year,
right? That these are college students that have not contributed one thing. Now, what the argument is that the volume, the amount of money that this group will bring in to the union in fees, will surpass a whole lot of that. So this is investment gain.
Yeah, it is. It's like and plus it's the new crop of guys. Plus, you got to think the amount of money that the NFL invests in the combine. It's on major networks. It's
got sponsors.
You're flying. All these teams are bringing all their personnel, medical personnel, research personnel, coaches, scouts, and all that into Indianapolis, and plus, it's a big moneymaker for Indianapolis as well. So there's a lot.
Probably for Under Armour.
Yeah, everything, and who knows what else. And so, look, it's it's on the NFL Network, so they're making money both ways. So and
that's a big part of it.
It's a big part of it.
Like, this is a chance for the NFL to be highlighted.
Right.
That's why the combine is the thing that it is. Right.
It's their weekend.
This is their weekend,
or one of their weekends.
Right. And so there's no reason for them to let this bypass,
especially after COVID.
Right.
Like, and you had to do it kind of virtual last year.
So this is a big deal, and lots to talk about. We're toward the break. Rico, tell us what's up. Lots going on, so I'm interested to hear what Rico wants to talk about here on Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical, from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com.
Allo knows businesses need reliable communication, both at the office and at home. Now more than ever. Just listen to Bill Mitchner from Lighthouse.
Before, we'd have breaks in service, especially for internet, but we've never had any issues with Allo. It's always been there and available when we needed it.
At Allo, supporting your business is our business. To get your free quote and switch today, visit allofiber.com/workfast or call 402-480-6685 today.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour, and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion-censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course.
Ow! God! Ow! Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe and Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
Did you know your air ducts can hold up to 17 pounds of dirt, dust, pet dander, and so much more? John Henry's is here to help make the air you breathe cleaner with a duct cleaning. If you've never had your ducts cleaned, now is the best time, especially if you have pets, someone in the home with allergies or asthma, or you've ever done a renovation. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give John Henry's a call or text today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, old school. 93.7 The Ticket on a chilly Tuesday. Rico, it's time, sir. We need to be informed. We need to be elevated. We need to be educated. Please tell us what's up.
Woke up this morning and I got out of bed. Had a big old cup of coffee to clear my head. Telephone rang and you wanna chat? Well, sit on down and tell me what up with that. Ooh-wee.
You're over here dancing, ain't you?
What up with that? Ooh-wee. What up with that? What up with that?
We have failed our listeners by not sharing the video that we constantly laugh about.
Ain't your camera on?
Yeah.
So they just saw you dancing?
They saw all of that.
Get
I'm not
in.
mad at it.
Get it in.
I'm not mad at it.
But first, so Jay, it's a two-sided question. Do you consider yourself a dancer, but can you dance?
Right now?
No, I mean, just
in general.
Yeah.
I used to be able to, but not anymore. I'm a retired dancer.
Okay.
And I have no problem. I mean, I ain't even trying to do it. I could maybe hit the stanky leg or something, maybe, but
Right.
nothing that I'm doing.
And it's like 2 minutes, but you're not going to do the whole song.
I tried to do something like with my daughters one time. They were just like looking at me like, "What are you doing?"
But that's the point. That's kind of
Right.
what as parents, what we have evolved and what we're allowed to do.
Oh yeah, father-daughter dance. I definitely was embarrassing them.
It's necessary.
It's necessary.
It's necessary.
I told them it's just an act of love.
Rico, what you got? Hold on. I'm going to hit this button so that Jay can see this the whole time you're talking. So he can.
Okay.
This is fantastic.
It's kind of like a two-part rant
Okay.
where, they don't really have anything to do with each other, but I'm annoyed with the NFL rumors that Tom Brady is going to come back, and now people are trying to put bets on what team he's actually going to play for. Just leave the man alone. He retired. Let him live his life. Don't just assume he's going to come back because he loves football so much. I understand it, but no, just let the man live. He's not coming back. He's retired. He's going to spend time with his family. And then the second part is the NBA 75. People have compiled a list of some of the biggest names not on the 75. Some of the best, some of the bigger snubs.
Okay.
You want me to go through them?
Yeah, please.
Pau Gasol, and I'll let you guys tell me how you feel if they deserved it or not. Pau Gasol.
Negative.
No.
Dwight Howard.
Yes.
Yes.
Chris Bosh.
No.
No.
Tony Parker.
No.
Oh yeah.
No. I
Oh yeah.
I had this because I'm a DC kid. Hal Greer and Dave Bing would have destroyed Manu and Tony Parker. So no. Like those are
well, just because you get destroyed, but it doesn't mean you don't deserve to be on the list. It's one of the better point guards.
Who are you going to take? You could.
I don't. Again, I don't know who I'm going to take off.
Robert Parish. You definitely taken off. I think I was looking at this the other
Kevin
day.
McHale was on there. Robert Parish was on there.
Yeah, Robert Parish needs to go. There's a couple other ones that were on there that I didn't think should have been on there.
All right, so hold on. So Jay, that's
both of those are Rico.
Which both? What you talking about?
He's also a DC kid.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
Look, you see him hit the slow mo.
Yeah.
Jason
when he
Sudeikis.
slows it down, it's great. It's fantastic.
And he does it the whole segment. Like he just.
Well, then he just stands there.
Right.
And he just like has his hand on his hip. Vince Carter.
No. Do you have Steve Nash on there?
Steve Nash is on the 75.
No, Steve Nash. He wouldn't be on my list.
He would be on mine just because he was the MVP. There was a stretch,
twice,
a 2-year stretch where he was the best player on the planet.
Except one of those years, maybe he wasn't.
Well, but I mean, if you're in the conversation,
I mean, Ray Allen.
This is why Ray was one that I questioned, because then it becomes
I don't know.
Ray couldn't carry his see all
he
of them.
He couldn't do nothing with Milwaukee when he was up there.
All of them are in the pool. And
Anthony Davis, definitely not.
No, it's too early.
AD should not.
They have Damian Lillard on there. I wouldn't. Too early for Damian.
Yeah,
Lillard.
too early for Damian Lillard.
Yeah, there's no.
So there's like 4 or 5 guys I would take off.
Because there's some people on there that like they're still playing, but like Steph Curry. Like, he's the greatest shooter we've ever seen. He broke the record. Like, of course, LeBron James. Like, some of the guys that are still playing deserve to be on there. But like a Damian Lillard, no, not yet.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Maybe not even
Not
when
ever.
he's done.
Yeah.
Unless he wins a championship with Portland.
Hmm.
Alex English.
Ooh.
Yeah, yes.
Sneaky, yeah.
But he's Dame. He was the 80s Dame Lillard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't get over the hump, but
was on the
he
Nuggets.
did his thing.
Yeah.
Bernard King.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Bernard King's one.
Probably one of the most disrespected as far as being thought of as like a great player that's ever played. Flat out unstoppable.
Yes.
And flat out unstoppable.
Yep.
If people out there could ever listen to how he articulated how he became a phenomenal scorer, it's for any high school, middle school, high school, college.
It's a 4-minute breakdown.
4-minute breakdown, and it's very simple but very detailed. He's like, I get to these 9 spots, it's over.
There's a wrap.
He's like, that's all I did. Practice. Once I got to these 9 spots, it was over. And then they showed highlights of him getting there, and there was nothing anybody could do.
Baseline, back to the basket, one dribble, turn towards the baseline with a step away from the defender. He would actually shoot it at the corner of like the side of the basket, and it would hit nothing but net. Before he turned, he would elevate and then turn. So the defender, he would elevate and then turn and get to the top of his release. And he said it was just a flick of the wrist. I never had to do anything different. And he goes, that's why it always went down. Money. It's just money.
We got a couple more. Tracy McGrady.
Close.
And then some guys that are currently playing. Klay Thompson.
No.
Kyrie Irving.
No.
Draymond Green.
No.
Paul George.
Well, Draymond, if Draymond does this for 3 years, he's Rodman X.
Yeah. He's like the Rodman 2.0.
Yeah. So
Paul George, definitely not.
No.
And Manu Ginobili.
Manu is behind. It's weird because you got to remember, it was Duncan's squad. Manu and Parker on their own, I'm just not sure they were.
It was a big 3, though.
Yeah, but Manu was putting in work, though.
Manu could have started on every other team,
and especially,
even on the Spurs, and he was like, "Come on."
And especially in big games, he was putting in.
Yeah, late in games, he's the Euro fascinator.
And also, you got to think he had a couple so-called down years, and then he came back and finished even stronger. I mean, him especially with the international flavor. You know what's crazy? I didn't even know the NBA doesn't have their like just NBA Hall of Fame.
Nope,
they just have a basketball Hall
of Fame. Manu might. He and Parker might get in because of the international factor.
Right.
I think that's a big part of it.
Some of the top international.
Is Arvydas Sabonis in there?
No,
because he didn't play in the NBA long enough.
No, he's in. He has to be because he was considered the best basketball player on the planet even when he wasn't playing in the NBA.
No, he's not in it.
Okay.
But he's in the basketball Hall of Fame. I was just talking about the NBA. He didn't play. And remember, they got him, and he was kind of like
he was at the end of it. He was still a problem,
but he was still he gave Shaq the business.
Yeah, but it's basketball, so
he's not my Vetus. He's not your Vetus. He's our Vetus.
Yeah,
it's just basketball. So it's whatever you did in the game of basketball.
Yeah.
You can get in.
Okay, well that's the move. That's a good list. We may revisit.
Kawhi is on the 75.
Kawhi's on it. Melo's on it. Which
do you like Melo on there? I know he does. You?
I said that Melo was top 100. I wasn't sure that he was top 75. I thought he was top 100, but he falls in the Dame. He's in the pocket of guys who like because my question, but I think I would put in Manu before Melo.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So that's where I was.
Melo hadn't really he just hadn't done anything for me.
Rico and I had this debate, and
I like him better when he was at Syracuse.
Yeah. I mean, college basketball. Yeah, I mean,
he got to Denver as rookie year. He should have won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, but I mean, that's such a bare minimum, Rico.
I'm just going through. He should have won Rookie of the Year, and then when he was in Denver, they would get close to it, and they ran into that Lakers buzzsaw multiple times. He didn't even
do what Alex English did in Denver. He didn't do what David Thompson did in English. Did David Thompson make the list? He better have, or I'd be real mad. We'll check that. We'll go to break when we come back. We'll find out. Is David Thompson in the Hall of Fame? Should he
He's
be
in
in
the
the
Hall
top
of Fame.
Should he be in the top 75? We'll talk about that.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Southeast Community College has learning centers in Falls City, Hebron, Nebraska City, Plattsmouth, Wahoo, and York so that you can take credit and non-credit classes at a center nearby without having to travel an hour or more to campus. By taking online classes and those at a learning center, you can earn your degree from SEC where and when it's convenient for you, all at a cost that won't stand in the way of your education. Learn more about SCC's learning centers at southeast.edu/learning centers. SCC, your path to possible.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Alanos businesses need reliable communication, both at the office and at home. Now more than ever. Just listen to Bill Mitchner from Lighthouse.
Before we'd have breaks in service, especially for internet, but we've never had any issues with Allo. It's always been there and available when we needed it.
At Allo, supporting your business is our business. To get your free quote and switch today, visit allofiber.com/workfast or call 402-480-6685 today.
March is Problem Gambling Awareness Month. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300 or go to choicestreatmentcenter.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, Kfxl Weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Your Kfxl Fox Nebraska weather. Areas of snow are expected to be around on Tuesday with a mix of sun and clouds and a high of 14. Windy conditions expected for today. Those linger even into Tuesday night with a low right around -3. Topping out around 16 on Wednesday. We'll see breezy conditions and a mix of sun and clouds. I'm meteorologist Regina Bird for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
You can search online for hours to find the best electricians in Lincoln and the surrounding area, but I'll save you time. High Electric has been serving their customers for 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They're experts in everything electrical from remodeling to new additions, hot tub installations, electric vehicle chargers or EV chargers, lighting, ceiling fans, and more. High Electric takes jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at highelectric.com. Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season, enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hour number 2 old school. I did want to dip the pen back into the NBA pool quickly. That David Thompson was not in the 75.
I should have just did 100.
Well, this is
It was
year
75
This
years,
is year
so.
75. So
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate because the NBA wasn't as big back then because, you had guys in the ABA and stuff like that. It just sucks because he definitely was the real deal.
yeah, I mean, I like the whole Dr. J Thompson rivalry was
serious.
Yeah, like
it was must see TV, but then, the NBA was like not as nearly as big as it is now.
like there are guys like Chris Webber got in, Dan Issel didn't.
Do you want some of like the facts on this
Like
team?
Dan Issel was a monster.
Yeah, he was roguish.
He was
too.
a monster.
Some of the facts. There's 11 active players on the 75 team.
Okay.
Giannis, Melo, Curry, AD, Durant, Harden, LeBron, Kawhi, Dame, CP3, and Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, all of them fall in the too soon discussion.
Well, the ones that I'm totally
Kawhi
fine
did
with.
it in several places, so like I understand why Kawhi's in. LeBron, Curry, KD, like folks who have delivered at a high level.
So
I would have
Curry,
Kawhi before all like Carmelo,
right?
Ray Allen,
right?
Definitely. I mean, Robert Parish, that's questionable. I mean, look, we're up here talking about all-time great players, and I feel bad even doing it. But like, Robert Parish.
How many points a game did Parish average? Do you know?
Am I gonna look it up real quick?
I mean, I'm not really that big on Steve Nash. I know he was a 2-time MVP, but it's like, you had empty stats.
Robert Parish over his career averaged 14.5 points.
What about like Jason Kidd?
He was there.
Yeah, I know he's in, but I'm just asking, what are your thoughts on Jason Kidd?
Well, he was a stats machine. He was a triple-double guy back when they were trying to figure out what triple-double really meant, right?
And then later in his career, when he came in the league, they said he couldn't shoot, right?
Right.
But actually, when you look at his stats, he actually was a decent 3-point shooter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he got better as he aged. And he was the first kind of like big point guard besides Magic that could really push the pace. I remember Gary Payton told him, he's like, your name is Asen. He's like, because you ain't got no J.
See, like I'm glad Payton gets the credit.
Yeah.
For what he did. But I'm old school with guys like Dan Issel, Jack Sikma, guys who did their thing in the day before it was televised every day. So we have more video on current players.
Oh yeah.
Than we do the former guys.
And you see it over and over and over. So then it just kind of builds up and builds up and builds up. I mean, if you want a football like reference, I know Jerry Rice is known as the greatest football player of all time by the the rankings that they do. But you really can't tell any difference between Jerry Rice and some of these guys right now because of the amount of reels that they get, and stuff like that. Whereas, Jerry Rice was that dude. Like, it didn't matter if you run a zone or man, he was dicing cats up. You get what I'm saying? And he could have played in different eras. So I think that's just what happens sometimes in basketball as you're in, and also, let's be honest, a lot of the people, the writers and reporters, aren't necessarily basketball historians. They're present day historians.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying?
Right. Great for access.
Great for access and very limited in how much research they'll actually do. And this is one thing that I want to say, two things. One, you could always give, at least when he was playing with Michael Jordan, a ton of credit when they were trying to ask him. And I remember it was after they beat the Phoenix Suns. He was like, I'm not here for that because there's different guys that played in different eras. And so the basketball game was different. He said, I'm just happy to be in the discussion. Now, I know deep down, he, if you ever met Michail, he knows he's the best.
He knows he's the best.
But he's going to respect the game. You know what I'm saying? And then also one of the things that, I know was I watched it live, but also with Shaq, when he was just talking about how he became one of the best. For Shaq to be the most dominant big man in the first, I mean, he was huge. For him to openly admit Akeem Olajuwon is better than him and always will be is very humbling, but then also very refreshing. because he knows that he was one of the best, but he also knows, even though Akeem doesn't get, Akeem's not on TV, he's not on all these commercials, but he knows. He knows when he went there and he saw Dream. He still got nightmares, and when that dream shaking, he was doing them.
I still fall in this. That I think the real discussion is between who is better between Wilt, Russell, Kareem. Like, I love me some Shaq, but
I'd probably say Kareem.
But well, yeah, Cap had the most unstoppable scoring move.
I wonder if he had like 3 shots.
Bill Russell.
They bring people out.
Bill Russell the unstoppable shot twice in a row.
Yeah, but how many times did he not?
I know, but still.
Yeah.
Like, Kareem averaged like 32 against Russell.
Yeah. Still blocked it, though.
Right. Yeah, but that means
nobody else did.
That means 16 went in.
Nobody else did.
16 went
in.
I'd
probably say Kareem. Kareem doesn't get enough respect of being the greatest basketball player of all time.
In the basketball circle, he gets it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, like,
for the masses.
Mm-hmm. Again, present day time,
Kareem would still be Kareem.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just saying, present day reporters and media people, they're thinking they're barely coming in on the back end of when Jordan was dominant. Kareem was that dude, man.
Kareem was.
Do you remember? You just have to look at the all-time scoring list and see LeBron James climbing up and being like the youngest to hit this, the youngest to hit that, and then see that he's still like 10 seasons of averaging 20 points away from even catching Kareem.
Right. But
that's just wild.
One of Kareem's best moments, I remember when they played the Celtics and he had a bad game. Question: oh, he's too old. Should he even start? They say he ain't talked to nobody for 2 days. Came out and hit the Celtics up for 43 and is like, you know what? I'm not only gonna just go ahead and win this championship, but I'm gonna win the MVP on y'all. Just to let you know I still got it. Don't question the greatest.
Never question
greatness. I still am that dude.
I will ask this, and you can put it on the Sartor Hammond text line. I will put together a Beatrice Bakery care package for the first person to text in and tells me how many 3-point shots Kareem made in his career.
That is a great question.
First person
look that up.
First person that gets it in there can do that.
Let's see. I'm gonna look it up.
Right. Like it was there. I grew up as a Kareem fan because Power Memorial and DeMatha had a thing. So in DC, you paid attention to what was going on in New York. Kenobi guy got it. There you go.
Kenobi guy got it.
Yep, he got it. 1 for 18. 1 for 18.
It was in
1 for 18.
1986.
All right, 1 for 18. Like, it's a big moment. But like what Alcindor and Jabbar did over the course of his career was just nuts. He changed the rules of the game.
Yeah.
Like, they changed the lane, they changed dunking, they kept going, we can't do anything with this guy. So how do we handle it? So it's when they talk about the greatest, it's always interesting where people go within their space. And then I ask people, okay, who was your GOAT? Because your GOAT is not my GOAT.
Yeah, it's different.
Like, we got to stop. And then
in his 14 seasons, he played 80 or more games. 11. 11 of those 14 seasons.
Just hanging out.
Ain't talking about no
he played
load, man.
all 82, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
And them cats were flying commercial.
Right?
So they weren't
except
like
for Kareem.
His last year,
Kareem was a pilot. He was flying himself.
His last year in the league.
In that little cockpit.
This is my name.
Yeah.
It's on my name.
His last year in the league, he played 74 games and started all 74.
Just out there doing work, man.
Oh, and by the way, he averaged 23 minutes. And hold on, where's the points per game for that season? He averaged 10 points a game.
Yeah. So, yeah, it just,
which is solid.
Yeah, angry for no reason. That's funny. I had to read that out loud.
It might have been.
Yeah, I had to read that out loud to do that. Well, let's start the break. We still have 4 segments to do in this hour. When we come back, I asked a question on social media yesterday, and I will ask you all of us, this question. Ponder it first for the break, and then come back and tell me on the text line what your response is. Is there anything that everyone can agree on in sports? Is there anything that everybody can agree on sports? We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In state wrestling, Class A Lincoln East is sitting in second as a team. They are trailing Millard South with 85 points to their 54 points. They will have 5 wrestlers go on to the semifinal matchups on Friday. Lincoln Southwest sits at 8th with 36 points. They will have 3 wrestlers advance to the semifinals on Friday. Hunter Jacobson, with a record of 40-5 in the 120 weight class, will kick things off. Lincoln Pius X is slotted at 11th with 26.5 points. And Lincoln Southeast with 18 points sits at 17th. Lincoln High, Lincoln North Star, and Lincoln Northeast are all tied with only 4 points. In Class B, Waverly sits at 3rd with 51 points. In girls basketball, Lincoln Lutheran won their sub-district final over Malcolm 48-27. Waverly lost to Beatrice 45-30, and Norris won against Blair in a one-score game 41-39. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox Kfxl Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Kfxl Fox Nebraska weather. Areas of snow are expected to be around on Tuesday with a mix of sun and clouds and a high of 14. Windy conditions expected for today. Those linger even into Tuesday night with a low right around -3. Topping out around 16 on Wednesday. We'll see breezy conditions and a mix of sun and clouds. I'm meteorologist Regina Bird for 93.7 The Ticket and TicketFM.com.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Hey, Steve. Welcome to Great Clips.
Great Clips asks, what's the difference between good and great?
Come on back and have a seat.
Good asks you what haircut you'd like.
I have all your details from last time. Would you like the same haircut today?
Great already knows. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you can get the same thing as last time, every time. Download our online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, Old School on a cold Tuesday. Jay Foreman, Rico. So I pitched this yesterday, and I was on a show back east, and the question was asked. Because doing sports radio is an interesting space. Because there are very few absolutes.
Right.
And I said that phrase, and then the moment I said it, I said, wow, maybe I need to rescind that and say that I could not think of anything that everybody could agree on when it comes to sports. Right? What?
No, but
I mean, you can talk, you can say, right?
You can't, because sports is definitely about opinion, so it can't be any absolutes, you know.
I mean,
there has to be one.
Well, they pointed out, so they said, okay, so you can go, okay, the Rams are the Super Bowl champions. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Right. But then ask the question, was that the best team in the league last year? Huh? Georgia was the national champion. Were they the best team?
Yeah, Rico. Were they the best?
Melo is Melo.
That's true.
But is he worthy of being the GOAT?
No. I feel like that's an absolute.
That he's not the GOAT. Syracuse
He's
will
not the
tell you.
GOAT.
Syracuse will tell you
He's the
GOAT.
Well, he's not the Syracuse GOAT.
No, per Washington.
Yeah.
So, but they would still have that discussion.
Right.
They're very. What about? So let's focus this on Nebraska athletics.
Okay.
Nebraska sports.
Okay.
Can you say who the greatest football player is to ever play at Nebraska? And will everybody agree?
No.
Greatest quarterback.
A lot of people would agree, but not everybody.
But not everybody.
Greatest coach.
T.O. probably.
I think everybody would.
Everybody would probably agree on that.
You think the Devaney's would agree? You think people that
I think
the people who built it, because the people will say
I know he
the
built
guy
it.
who built it. The guy who built it had to go through a tougher path than the guy who adopted it and took it over.
Yeah, I mean, I think the majority of people.
Right, we can get to majorities, but when it comes to absolute,
I was gonna say something.
Ah, you're stupid.
Just give it a couple.
I
years.
just read the I read the look on your face, Rico. I read the look on your face. Greatest running back.
I don't think anybody agree. Now, what's your definition of agreeing? Is it like a certain percentage, or is it like 100%?
No, he says everybody. He's saying everybody.
Oh no, nobody would agree on any
receiver.
Any of it.
No.
Defensive tackle.
No.
Defensive end.
No. Nope. Nobody agree on.
There's
anything.
none of this.
Safety.
None of it.
No.
None of it.
Basketball player.
No.
Nope.
Definitely not.
Baseball player.
Nope.
Volleyball player. Definitely not.
No.
Definitely.
No.
Definitely not.
There are too many to choose from.
Definitely not. Here's one, and this is where it got really interesting for me. Greatest coach on campus right now.
At Nebraska?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it'd be John Cook because of his success, right?
Wouldn't it be Paul Klempa?
Paul Klempa wasn't the coach for all of the success.
Now,
John Cook has been the coach for three of the success.
Who's the great? There's one existing national champion on campus.
That is true.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that everybody would probably.
But there's
say
one
John
existing multi-time national champion. On campus.
Is there? Did not more? Didn't Mark Manning win?
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't think any. I mean, there's no absolutes in sports because it's all about opinion, and whether whether you were old enough to watch Bob Devaney coach and what he had to went through, or Coach Osborne, or any other player, Larry Jacobson versus Jason Peter, and then versus Ndamukong Suh, say like a Trev Alberts versus like a Levante David, or Travis Hill was a bad dude. I mean, so there's never going to be any absolute because one, everybody has their own opinion, and two, we're in a climate right now. Nobody's going to be 100% agreement on anything.
You're going to have people disagreeing just to disagree.
Like, just to disagree.
Right, just to disagree.
And that was the point, was that the shows that you do around the country, and it hit me that we do this here and that we need to pay attention to it, that we have to put into space and remind, it's very rare for us to agree on anything. And as we talk about this every day, it can become a cesspool of, I need my point validated.
And I have to be right.
And I have to be right. And I can't agree with somebody because of some other thing other than the thing we're talking about.
Right. Like, I'm going to get you back.
Right. Like,
You remember when you didn't agree with me on this? Like on that third down call?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like that you can say 90 things right. It's the two that people remember that you said wrong that would erase the 90 that you got right.
Right.
And I said that because in this space, that the people who have microphones give their opinions on a daily basis. So it's easy to track, and it's easy to go back and go, oh, Jay, you said this. Like, I can't believe nothing you say because you said this. No, no, that's not how this works. That's not how this works at all.
Right.
So in this space, it was just easily identifiable that this is tough. Shaney says, we can all agree that Nebraska had a pretty good football team in the 90s. No, some would say that you had a great football team. Some would say you had the best football team.
95, yeah.
Right?
I think they're
Right?
voted the greatest team of all time.
Right? So you can go through, like, it becomes, we can get in this space. It's hard to be in this space anyway and not be venomous. We just have to keep the venomous out of it. Like, I think it's a point.
Yeah.
Dan says there's 2 points, 2 items of consensus. 1, no conference titles in football since 99. 2, if you ain't first, you're last. Yeah, there's so much of, right, through all of the things that we talk about.
Right.
We spend a lot of time just bashing each other, and it's a little much. It's a little much for me. I just want the space to be a little more open, a little bit more fluid in how we engage. That's why I ask people to engage in conversation.
Right.
Say what's up to Jay. Say what's up to Rico. Say what's up to me. And then we can say what's up back and we can have a conversation.
I don't have to convince anybody that I'm right. I just know that I'm right.
Rico, you've never been wrong.
Never have.
You've never been wrong.
Never lost.
You're the only person on
Especially when you talk to yourself all the time, right?
It's true. Never lost. Never wrong.
Yeah, it's just when that other voice comes out and when he answers.
I've argued with myself before. It's totally healthy.
All right. So
Totally
now
normal.
we're on schedule now. So we're good for the hour. Toward the break, we'll come back. Do want to talk a little bit about the state of affairs in the athletic department, at least my opinion of it. And then we'll get into the rest of the show along the way. You guys are appreciated. Rico, Jay, thank you for putting up with me on a day-to-day basis. Some days are good. Some days are not so good. All the while, I appreciate you guys hanging. So we'll go to break. We'll come back. More Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Steve. Welcome to Great Clips.
Great Clips asks, what's the difference between good and great?
Come on back and have a seat.
Good asks you what haircut you'd like.
I have all your details from last time. Would you like the same haircut today?
Great already knows. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you can get the same thing as last time, every time. Download our online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion-censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course. Ow! God!
Ow! Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox Kfxl Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your KFXL Fox Nebraska weather. Areas of snow are expected to be around on Tuesday with a mix of sun and clouds and a high of 14. Windy conditions expected for today. Those linger even into Tuesday night with a low right around -3. Topping out around 16 on Wednesday. We'll see breezy conditions and a mix of sun and clouds. I'm meteorologist Regina Bird for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean. And there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I'm going to steal Jay Foreman's phrase. I need some VOL, man.
You control your own. Yours on that side of the
couldn't reach it.
I got short arms.
I know. I couldn't reach it. Hey. Come on.
I know, right? I always wonder, like, if he ever just starts trying to dance. I wonder if he can still dance like he used to.
He can. He put on a video like a month ago. Oh my goodness gracious, Hammer. Oh, he was wearing it out.
He got them good ligaments.
Oh, he do. Yes, sir. Yes,
Good
sir.
ligaments.
Yes, sir. Like I had to. He was actually watching that video from. It's like 6 weeks ago. Was when I realized, okay, I need to get my flexibility back. And then everybody started doing that knee bend challenge, and I couldn't do it. And then it was like, oh, it's about 2 weeks ago, Jay.
You got it back?
Oh, Jay, hold on. Let me make sure.
Oh, wait, hold on.
So we know.
Oh, dang. You better than me.
Look at that guy. Like, I was like, wait a minute. Like, let's get, hey, wait a minute. I had to go back.
You get some cortisone shots, man?
Look at that guy.
Like, have to get back in it, get the back loose, get the screws and pins
for
loose.
For anybody that was just watching, DP's not going to be getting out of that chair for the rest of the day.
Right.
Like the knee, that was all the bends.
That was for the rest of the week.
I used all the knee bends and the back bends that I could possibly bend.
If he ever drops anything, it's just staying.
Yeah, like,
exactly.
He's like, well, I didn't need that phone anyway. I'll go get a new one.
Like, I'll buy a new one before I bend over. Either that or I just have to dive on the floor, roll over, get it up, and then pull myself up on the wall.
It's not like you can ask Nicklin to get it. She can't even touch her toes.
No. That was fantastic. That was fantastic. So, yeah, it just, that whole getting old thing is just real with me. And
yeah, it's no fun.
I had to get back. Like, I'm like, no. I got to get the flexibility back. I can't get the strength back. I can't get the speed back. But the flexibility, that's just will. Like, I have to force
That's just
myself
time, right? You just take the time to stretch.
Well, those bands that you lock around your foot.
Yeah.
And you pull yourself to resistance.
Mm-hmm. And you get a couple of resistance
bands. They're so good.
You could do some pretty good workouts with those.
Oh, it's got my hamstrings loose again.
I'm not going to the weight room or anything. I just do that.
But I still,
there you go.
I still
That's
resist.
What Terrell Owens supposedly does.
That's what Tom Brady did.
Yeah, I still want to throw weights around, but I have to resist.
Yeah,
I have to resist. So, a couple of things. The news, the women's basketball news, and as stories break and things happen. Full disclosure to everybody, and I want to make this clear to Husker fans and Husker administration. And Husker families. I'm an ally. That's why we do the programming that we do. Like, I want to give voice to the people who actually play the games, who actually played the games, the people who coach those games, etc. I am closer to those people than the administrators. Not by choice, just the way it is.
Right.
And I understand it. And I try to be respectful of the program and the administrators and the jobs that they have to do. I'm not out to attack anyone. As I said, I don't root for people to be fired or dismissed for things. I root for them to do better.
Yeah.
Like, everybody in this space should be rooting for all the programs and the people in the programs and the people who run the programs to do well and have success. That is true and absolute with me. The situation with the women's basketball team got a little close. I'll say this. I'm here to care. I have no venom or malice towards the program itself. You want things done right, and right is relative, as we just talked about. Right is relative to situation, circumstance, and location. What I will always stand to is that if I'm going to make a mistake, I'm going to make a mistake towards caring rather than not.
Right.
I will accept anything that comes with that. I have zero ill intent to stir the pot and shake the tree. I want people to do better by each other, for each other, with each other. That is a universal statement across the board. And the reason why I coach is to help people be the greater versions of themselves, especially young people. Often in that space, I end up coaching adults in adult things. And saying, right? Like,
Yeah.
like I'm a professional coach of coaches. And to explain to people, okay, where you are is one thing. Here's another perspective. And I'm really good at having to play devil's advocate and say, consider this, though.
Right.
Again, in the consideration, I'm not pointing fingers. I am simply adding to the conversation and adding another option or a thing to consider. I am learning day by day to get better and better at being patient. I'm learning day by day to get better and better at the thing that I do so that I can help the people that I want to help. On a day-to-day basis at this station, I have chosen to include and involve more people from the athletic department as a part of what we do. Why? Because it's easier for them to speak for them than it is for me. I don't want to yell from the rafters or from the trees to administrators going by. I don't want to do that kind of work. But I also am going to be, the humanity in me goes long before the broadcaster in me. The man in me has to be greater than the broadcaster in me. I can't be a good broadcaster if I'm not a decent human being. And I say that to hold myself accountable and to let people know the standard from which we're working. There were some folks yesterday that thought that you and I were being combative over a thing when we're not. And I understand anybody that comes in the station and has a microphone, this is family. So as families have discussions and work things out and get on the same page, you have to have difficult conversations in order to get to that space.
Yeah, people just, I don't get, I didn't think twice of it when I got in my car. I don't understand combative. I mean, like I said, I don't have any, my name is Bennett and I ain't in it. I don't have, I don't have any apples in those oranges or whatever. I think my dad, I don't have anything. I'm not invested in it or whatever. Of course, I'm a former Nebraska Cornhusker alumni. So, of course, and then I'm on the radio for, an hour or two. So you got to kind of, keep your eyes open and your ears open and, see what's going on. But at the end of the day, I have complete trust in the administration and Coach Williams, for sure. I have complete trust that your assumption that, is probably just a bunch of, hogwash. And then, if it ain't, it ain't. It doesn't affect my day. I just got to keep it moving just because I don't know anything about it, nor do I necessarily care, care that you don't want anybody involved or, anybody hurt is like collateral damage, and so that's kind of always try to take that approach, but no way was it combative, and it's too early to kind of get all bent out of shape about it. It sucks. And just because, like I said, the biggest thing is, take the situation out of it. But when you have it's basketball season, you got a men's team that struggled. You got a women's team that's definitely reached and maybe exceeded expectations, a breath of fresh air. I'm looking at like, I want to kind of ride on that, good gravy train, as far as that and anything that kind of, steers away or gets in the way is a concern. Now, look, whatever is going to happen is going to happen, so forth and so on. Sports is a microcosm of the United States, corporate America. Any type of business that you run in, any type of family. It's pretty much like a family reunion, or family. There's always, nobody has a perfect family out there, or family members or situations. So it's just kind of things you got to work through. It's never going to be easy. These are the hard times, and this is when you got to kind of buckle down and figure it out. And yeah, it's cool to have a conversation. I mean, you can't really have a conversation when I don't really know too much, but on the surface, I think it'll all kind of shake itself out. I think it's, again, like I said, if there's ever one word I could say, is just unfortunate on all levels. Just unfortunate in anything. It just because it covers everything. It doesn't matter who you could, just unfortunate that anybody has to deal with it. Fortunate that how it went down, or however could have went down, or whatever. And it's unfortunate that it's even brought to, came to this point, right? So there's nothing positive that comes out of this or anything like that. And so, to be honest with you, after I left, I was kind of like thinking about the boys' game or the men's game tonight, for the simple fact that one, I want to see. I don't like saying play for pride, right? But I actually can pick and prod at your pride, though, right? We're playing to win, but you got to have pride about yourself in order to play to win. I guess, does that make sense?
Yeah,
right.
You have to.
Yeah. So that you got to, but you got to have enough pride to not forget what happened 2 Saturdays ago on a beautiful day in Lincoln, or Sunday, right? That. Or whenever the game was against Northwestern, where you came out, you had a lackadaisical effort after a win. Now you're going on the road. You didn't play to your expectations. You can't say you played your best. There wasn't anything like Northwestern got lucky and banked in a half-court 3 to win or something like that.
You got beat by 24.
Right. You got spanked. And so I'm more interested in that. I'm also interested to see, what you're about as an individual, operating collectively, ideally as a team, as a teammate, because, at the end of the day, the easy thing for kids, and you see a lot of this across the football landscape with kids, the easy thing to do is say, I'm going to go somewhere else, but it's not, because the things that you've done at said place that you're starting at, as far as like work ethic, attention to detail, like that's going to transfer with you unless you decide to change. And there's no time like the present to change it. What I mean by that is, lock in, let's go, let's us and we go win this game together. And the lasting impression generally is your best one. If you go out and end the season the right way, get in the Big Ten tournament and make some noise, the whole dynamic and the whole aura of the program changes. But if you limp to the finish line and you're out there kind of trying to quote unquote get yours, I gotta get mine, DPs, say DPs on a hot streak, whether you're, Wilcher off the bench, or say you're Webster, or you're, the French Connection, or, or somebody like that that's doing well. Well, okay, now I got to get mine, right? Then we essentially get back to the same place that we started the game at, or before the game, because essentially that's losing basketball. So I'm more really interested in that. This isn't an X's and O's game. Right. This isn't like how are we going to stop.
Boo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was rolling, but I mean, it's not like we're trying to stop, like Shaq or something, or we got to really, make sure we double team the post, like the big man from Illinois or something like that, or they have like a 2-headed monster in Indiana, or you have the Big Ten scorer, which is coming down the pipe with Iowa, or a couple guys that are, pretty efficient scorers in Wisconsin. You know what I mean? This is just coming down to, look, do you want it more than them? Are we going to compete to the end, and are we going to actually impose our will on them and play up to our talent level? That's really what it comes down to.
That previous meeting, to tell you how off it was, that CJ Wilcher led the team with 15 points off the bench, 6 of 10 shooting. And then the next person, Bryce had 10, Verge had 9, Trey had 8, 6 for Walker, 5 for Kobe. And then the rest was just a smattering of 2s and 3s around the rest of the program. Rest of the team. But what they could not do that day, the best player on the floor had the ball in the hands of 00 at Northwestern, and you couldn't figure out how to take him out of rhythm. You couldn't take him out of plays or out of sequences, which is really how you stop a great player.
Just get them off the rhythm, off their spot, make some adjustments coming in and out of a timeout, TV timeout, or whatever you want to call it. And they were on, and he started heating up. So you got to try to find a different way, maybe attack him more on the defensive end, as far as us on offense, wear him out a little bit, get them running through some picks. I just think that the game was pretty close, and they were coming out. I remember they came out of a timeout, and Nebraska might have been down. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Anywhere from 3 to 7 points, which isn't a lot of points that early in the game.
Right.
And I swear Northwestern went on like a 16-0 run.
Yep.
And it was like right before half. And I think that, like I said, I think this is the game where if you ever want a snapshot of that first half, I think Northwestern shot a corner three. We didn't box out. I think it was my man Lat. And it was like 1.3 seconds left. They got it, and the guy shot it, and then he hit 2 free throws.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That
was it, right?
There was a 7-minute stretch.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, that's you think, okay, let's go into the half and regroup, because playing against Northwestern, Nebraska didn't go in halftime like, oh man, we got to decide how much we're trying to lose by. They're thinking like, okay, we played a horrible first half. You
were down 22 because you gave up 8+ down a stretch.
Right.
You were never exceptional in the game.
Right.
But you had a moment early in the game where you could have had some impact.
Right.
And just refused to do good things.
Right. So going into halftime, besides that missed box out and 2 free throws, think, okay, we can turn this bad boy around. If we come out in these first 8 minutes and win these 8 minutes and get within, say, like 6, it's a whole different ball game for these next 12 minutes, because you can kind of play small ball down the end and try to really lock in on D, but then it never came to fruition. So I'm really interested to see individually where these guys are at, and how they're going to come out and attack this game against Northwestern, because some guys didn't play well last game.
It went from 49-27 to start the half, and it jumped all the way up to 57-35 in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's where it was. Again, adaptable, adjustable things. We'll see how that plays out tonight at Northwestern. Rico's question of the day, his trivia, or his question, whatever his curiosity is, up next as we close out Old School.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You spend more time in your garage than outdoors in the wintertime. Isn't it time to get it organized? Call Travis at Classic Garage Solutions for his variety of organization packages. Turn your garage from a cluttered mess to a clean, organized space that'll be the envy of the neighborhood and something you can be proud of. You don't need to bring the same clutter from last year into the new year. Travis has storage options for cabinets, monkey bar shelving, or slat wall, and more. Call Classic Garage Solutions today at 402-730-1638.
Hey, Steve. Welcome to Great Clips.
Great Clips asks, what's the difference between good and great?
Come on back and have a seat.
Good asks you what haircut you'd like.
I have all your details from last time. Would you like the same haircut today?
Great already knows. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you can get the same thing as last time, every time. Download our online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo Promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities that we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say hello. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, Kfxl Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Kfxl Fox, Nebraska weather. Areas of snow are expected to be around on Tuesday with a mix of sun and clouds and a high of 14. Windy conditions expected for today. Those linger even into Tuesday night with a low right around -3. Topping out around 16 on Wednesday. We'll see breezy conditions and a mix of sun and clouds. I'm meteorologist Regina Bird for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Now what do? Football is over. The weather's crappy. Man, I tell you what, it's a perfect time to go car shopping. This is Carl from Price Right Auto. Come out to Price Right in West Elk and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. With our non-commissioned sales process, we let you control the sale. We won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our Peace of Mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, Check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on West O Street at Price Right Auto.
You hear that? That's the sound of extremely tender and delicious beef from certified Piedmontese. Prime grade tenderness with a fraction of the fat and calories of normal beef. It's Nebraska-raised product and the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. Change the way you buy beef today at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, just north of 84th and Havelock, or at cpmercado.com.
March is Problem Gambling Awareness Month. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300 or go to choicestreatmentcenter.com.
Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Final segment, Old School. Want to go to the Starter Heyman text line. Gabe says, what's up? What's up, Gabe? He says, what's up, Jay? I don't understand people. What you guys point out is the same stuff that drives fans nuts. And I see the opposite. I always wondered how you ever became a Nebraska fan, TP. It's almost like you were born and raised in Lincoln, and I can tell it hurts you when our programs aren't doing well. And just for fun, Jay, when we were playing pickup football in my backyard, I wasn't Fran Tarkenton or Sammy White. I was Chuck Foreman.
I appreciate that.
Right?
I ain't never came across anybody that said they was Jay Foreman.
They're out there.
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
With how much my son is eating, I think he might grow up to be a linebacker. I'll teach him.
Man. You could be like Levante David or somebody like that. Yeah.
Want to be
shoot for the stars, man. Don't shoot. Shoot for the stars, man. Don't be shooting just to be on ground level, man.
Show him tape you on like this guy. Be like this guy.
Hall of Fame dude. Yeah, the Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But Levante gonna be in the big one though. I think.
Yeah,
I think
he's on his way.
Very underrated still.
He is, but I think
outside of it,
hit, up until Tom Brady got there, he was just he would have been thought of as a stat sheet guy. So so which is unfair, right?
Mm-hmm.
But once he started winning,
and still putting up the
numbers, and he got that Super Bowl, and he's still the dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because he's not slowing down.
Him and Devin White complement each other so well.
Because you got the savvy guy, and then you got the wild young stallion.
110 miles an hour every
10 miles an hour.
And you get the hands thrower, the bouncer to clear everything up.
Yeah, the House of Spears.
Right? So
just right in the middle, shoving people out the way.
Right? Like, make room. All right, Rico, what you got?
NFTs and the housing market on Twitter.
Right. How about that? What you got, Rico?
All right. 75th anniversary team includes 4 players who played in the first NBA All-Star game in 1951. Can you name 2 of them?
Arizon, Mikan.
I can only name one, George Mikan, because he made the George Mikan drill famous.
No, Kuzi was.
No, you're right on that. You're right.
All 3.
That's 3. That's one
3.
more.
Is it Shays?
It is Shays.
Yeah, Dolph Shays.
Dolph Shays.
Yeah.
I just like that name.
Good call,
Dolph.
Right.
Dolph.
You get a fist bump for that.
Okay,
that's a great call.
We'll keep going.
His son could ball too.
The first winner of the Kia NBA Most Valuable Player Award, 1955-1956.
55. I would say Kuzi.
Nope.
Because Kuzi
Is he on
the same first. He's on the 75 team. Same first name.
Bob Pettit.
St.
Louis.
And
St. Louis.
That doesn't say what team. And the first winner of the Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP Award. I'm not going to name it because it'll give it away.
The year you're not?
Yeah, I'm not going to name the year because it'll give it away.
It was late in the game. It was probably Kobe.
No,
Was it Kareem?
It was earlier.
Kareem?
No. They played on the same team, I believe.
Oh, Oscar Robertson?
No, it was Magic.
Magic?
No.
The Magic Man?
Oh, maybe they didn't play. No, that's too early.
The Magic Man?
It's too early. No, they played on the same team. 1969.
Who played on the same team?
No, that's way too early.
Who played on the same team? Kareem or Russell and this person?
Oh, Jerry West.
Yeah.
Was Jerry West? He didn't play with Kareem, did he?
No, that's too early, right? 69?
They had Jerry West and
he played for
West
14
Baylor,
seasons.
Wilt played together. I don't think that.
Okay, Wilt. Okay.
Yeah.
Jerry West didn't play with Kareem.
Yeah, it was Jerry,
I
Elgin
think it was
Baylor,
way too
Gail
early.
Goodrich, Jim McMillan, McAdoo came in as a substitute back later in it. Ron Boone, the legend Ron Boone, Nebraska's own, was also on that team and then was traded to New Orleans before they became the Utah Jazz, which is why he went there and never left. So yeah, that's good.
There are only 4 players who have made all NBA and all of 4 of the NBA anniversary teams: 25th, 35th, 50th, and 75th.
It's probably the first. Well, I would think that go through the decades again.
25th anniversary, there were only 10 players named. 35th anniversary, 50th anniversary, and 75th anniversary.
So it would be
all the old heads.
Yeah, it's
old heads.
Yeah, it's all the old heads. Because that was before Oscar, that was before Kareem, that was before Wilt.
Wilt was before.
Close.
Wilt's not on all 4.
So then it's the 4, right?
Cousy, Mikan, Pettit, and
Arizona.
No.
Who?
Another big guy.
Kareem?
Nope. Most rings.
Russell. Okay. Yeah, Bill would. Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
He would have been in year like 4 or 5. So yeah. Wow. Yeah, he got in
There's only those 4, the only 4 that have made all 4.
Right.
That's crazy.
It's good stuff. Listen, thank you guys for a great 2 hours. Greatly appreciate it. Gabe, thank you for what you said. You get it, and it's good to know. We're going to get really athletic here in a minute. She's tiny, but she's powerful. And she's flexible. Her back has no bones. I think she just rubber.
Her spine is made of gummy bears.
Yeah, like she's just rubber. And Rico's happy because he will no longer be the shortest person in the room.
I'm always the shortest person in the room, so I'm always happy when there's somebody shorter than me.
Yeah, well, she's coming. Michaela Curtis from the gymnastics team will join us. You can hear her Monday nights here and Talking Tens on 93.7 The Ticket. She'll bring the heat because that's who she is. She built this life. Jay Foreman.
He's hiding from the camera.
Yeah, you're right. That's hilarious.
No, I was looking at something.
Yeah, he was looking at notes and that sort of thing.
I don't
Jay,
even know if that's the stream. But
enjoy the day, Rico. Let's stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, everybody. 101 up next.